My workspace is outside, and I frequently work in the cooler hours, early morning and late night, all the way through the night. And I also happen to live near a river, and it also rains a lot, and all of these things conspire to make me very, very susceptible to mosquitoes. Citronella candles don't work. Bug spray is at best just reducing the number of bites you get in a day, not actually eliminating them, and there has to be a solution. Well, there isn't a solution to the bites other than don't go outside, but there is a solution to the itching, which is the worst part. See, when a mosquito bites you, it injects histamine, or triggers a histamine reaction, I forget which, one of the two. And when you scratch, that releases more histamine. And so it's a vicious cycle of scratching causes more itching. Well, if you can prevent the itching in the first place, then this is never a problem. And you can do that with antihistamines, actually. Oh, I'm also not a doctor, and this is not medical advice. You are listening to some random guy on the internet who has no credentials at all. This just happens to work for me, and so I thought I would tell you about it. This is the generic of Allegra. It's called fexofenadine. It's a 24-hour antihistamine. It's non-drowsy. And that's important, that last bit, because if I'm operating like a bandsaw, I don't own a bandsaw, but you take my point. So let's say I'm working on something like this frame saw, which I made out of a 2x4. And I'm swinging a hatchet to shape the support bar here. All of this was shaped with a hatchet. Every part of this was shaped with a hatchet after, I resawed it. If I'm swinging the hatchet at something that I'm holding in my hands, I don't want to be prey to something that says on the bottle, do not operate heavy machinery, because I imagine that swinging something sharp is also, in the same danger area for that. So I'd rather not use something like Benadryl that crosses the blood-brain barrier, and that's why it makes you drowsy. But I also want something that lasts a really long time, which is why I narrowed it down to this one. There are others, do your own research. I also really want to caution people exactly what this does. What this does is prevent the itching part. It will not prevent the biting part. So if you live in an area where there's, say, malaria, you're still going to get malaria because they will continue biting you. It just won't itch afterwards, and so you probably won't know about it until you die of malaria. But for somebody who lives in the northern United States, where that's not really much of a problem, I can use an antihistamine to prevent mosquito bite itching. So if I know it's going to be particularly mosquito heavy outside, or I just am going to be outside for a particularly long time, I'll usually pop one of these, and then they will still bite me, and you can still feel it. But no itching afterwards, which is the part that I really care about anyway. Now subscribe, hit the bell, do the YouTube things, because 3 days from now, I'm going to be releasing a video on why poverty is like time travel.